What's going on, guys? Kalipis Tech here, coming back at you with another video. This is tips, tricks, and cool features for the T-Mobile Revvl V Plus 5G. In this video, I'm going to be showing you some different tips and tricks for this phone that you might not know about yet. But before we go any further, I do want to remind you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It helps out the channel a lot. But with that being said, let's get into the video. So the first thing I want to show you is a quick way you can access your camera. Sure, pressing the camera app is quick enough, but this is even faster because you don't even need to go to your home screen to do it. All you got to do is double tap the power key, just like this. It's going to ask you which app you want to use to open the camera. If you have several, like as we can see here, there's Snapchat. There's also alternate camera apps like Open Camera, that sort of thing. If any of that is on your phone, it's gonna ask this just as a formality or something. And once you select the one you wanna use, you can also hit always, and then it won't ask you again. So now that we've hit always, let's see what happens now. As you can see, it goes right to the camera, so convenient. And the coolest thing about this is even if you're on a different app, let's say Google Chrome, double tap the power key, and it goes right here. The next thing I'm gonna show you is an easy, quick way to put your phone on vibrate with just the click of a button. So what you're gonna do is press the power key and the volume up key at the same time, like this. It's gonna say this right here, and you're all good to go. So if you're walking into a movie theater or something and you just want to make sure your phone is silent and not going to be disruptive, you can just hit those two buttons real quick and it'll take care of it. Now keep in mind, this is the power key and the volume up key, not the power key and the volume down key. If you tap those keys, it's not going to do anything. And if you hold them down, it's going to take a screenshot, which, I mean, who doesn't want to know how to take a screenshot? But at the same time, that's not going to put your phone in vibrate mode. So again, power key, volume up key, click them, and there we go. The next thing I want to show you is a feature called adaptive brightness. Adaptive brightness is basically a feature that automatically adjusts the brightness of your display based on your environment. Having the display at 100% the whole time is cool and all, but it can waste a lot of battery. And if you're in certain settings, it could be a little hard on your eyes. So let me show you how you can get this feature. We're gonna go to settings, display, and go to adaptive brightness right here. You're gonna wanna toggle this on. And as you can see, the screen just adjusted a little bit, and it's gonna do that accordingly based on your lighting. So the next thing I'm gonna show you is how you can get the battery percentage up here on the status bar. Pretty easy to do. All you need to do is go to settings, go down to battery, and toggle on battery percentage. The battery percentage is gonna be up here, and if you wanna get rid of it, you can toggle it back off. I personally don't really like having it up there, just because it makes the status bar look a little bit cluttered, and I'm just not a big fan of clutter. But if you do like it, I understand sometimes it is good to see exactly where you're at battery-wise. But just so you know, you can also do that just by looking at your notification center, and it's gonna be right there no matter what. So if you wanna keep your status bar a little bit cleaner, but you also want the option to see your battery percentage, just keep this in mind. You really don't need to have it on at all. But hey, if you like the look of it, by all means go for it. The next thing I'm gonna show you is actually also in the battery menu, and this is the battery saver. So right here, if we go to battery saver, turn it on, and now the phone is in a low power mode. As you can see right here, it's got the battery icon lit up in that emergency looking color. And basically what this does is drastically limits the power usage of the phone. So this is perfect for if your phone is running low. Maybe you're on 10% in the middle of a park or something, and you can't charge your phone at the moment. You can always put on the battery saver, so your phone will still be able to stay on without completely dying until you get to a charger. Apparently it activates the dark theme. I actually haven't turned it on this phone until just now, so I didn't really know that. That's kind of cool. Basically, you're only gonna wanna use this when your phone is really dying, because if you have it on in a situation like this where the phone is at 95%, it's just gonna hurt the performance and it's not really gonna do you any good since the phone is at 95% and we have a 5,000 milliamp hour battery in this phone. You really don't need battery saver, unless your battery is something really low like 20% or lower. But otherwise, I would suggest to keep this off. And by default, when your phone is charging and it gets to 90%, it's automatically gonna turn it off anyway, which is actually a good thing, because if you do have battery saver on and then you go and plug in your phone, you won't have to worry about turning it back off, because when your phone is basically fully charged, it's automatically gonna do it. The next thing I'm gonna show you is a feature called Lift to Wake. This is one of those features that's really not jaw-dropping kind of cool or anything. It's more one of those ones that we don't notice when it's on, but we do notice when it's not. Basically, what Lift to Wake is you pick up your phone and it automatically turns on the display. So for example, let me lock it, and I'm gonna put the phone down, and picking it up now, it doesn't do anything. With Lift to Wake on, it will actually turn on the display as soon as I pick it up. So let me show you. We're gonna go to settings, go down to display, hit the drop down for advanced. All the way down here at the bottom, you're gonna wanna toggle on Lift to Wake. It's interesting because this is usually in the gestures section, but for whatever reason, it's not on this phone. But at the end of the day, does it really even matter? Not really. Let's take a look at what happens now when I pick up the phone with the display off. And there we go, it's automatically turning on. Pretty cool, even though it's not anything crazy. It's definitely a feature that I personally like to have. Now, you'll never guess what this next feature is. We're gonna go over Tap to Wake. That's right, there are two of them. So I'm gonna show you how this works. So I'm gonna turn off the display, double tap the screen, and it wakes up. So keep in mind, you do have to double tap it. If I go and tap it once, it's not actually gonna do anything, except that time when I hit the power key. As you can see, it's not actually doing it. But then when I double tap it, there we go, the display wakes up. And the cool thing about this feature is it's activated by default. So if you want it to be on, you don't actually have to do anything. But if you don't want it to be on, maybe you keep accidentally waking the display up, it's really easy to turn off. We're gonna go back to settings, go to display again, advanced, all the way down where the Lift to Wake was. We're gonna turn both of these off. And now it's not gonna lift to wake, and it's not gonna tap either. The next thing I'm gonna show you is how you can turn on and off NFC. Personally, I don't really know why you'd wanna turn it off, but by default, the phone actually doesn't come with it on. It's a little weird. There's some phones like iPhones and the higher end Samsung phones that just have it on at all times, and that's pretty much it. But with this phone and lots of others, you actually have to turn it on and off. So let me show you how you can do that. We're gonna go to settings, connected devices, in NFC right here, we're gonna select this. And as you can see, it is on right now, and you can turn it off. So the next thing I'm gonna show you is how you can activate the screen recorder. This is a really cool function, and for some weird reason, lots of phones in this price range don't have the ability to create screen recordings, which I personally think is a little weird, because screen recording is a pretty basic feature. It's basically just a moving screenshot that sometimes makes sound, so I don't really quite get why not every phone has it, but luckily this phone does. So let's take a look at how to use it. We're gonna swipe once for our notification center, one more time for the quick menu, and simply go to screen record start. It's gonna ask you which features you want on. So if you wanted to show touches on the screen, if you wanted to record your microphone, or if you wanted to record the device audio, select whichever thing you want, press start. It's gonna give you a little countdown. And here we go, we're recording the screen. As you can see, the touches do show up here. And once you want to stop recording, simply go back to the notification center and tap right here to stop. It's gonna save it right to your photo gallery, and it actually shows up in your notifications, so you can go right to it. So the last thing I'm gonna show you is a feature called split screen. I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I really, and I mean really, don't like this feature. It's so weird to me, but I know a lot of people out there do find it useful. I'm not one of those people, but I do feel like I should show it to you guys. So let's take a look. Say we're on YouTube. and you want to do a quick Google search or something, what you're going to do is press the recent apps button, or if you have gesture navigation, drag your finger up, whatever you need to do to get to your recent apps, and tap on the icon right here. See where it says split screen, you're going to select this, and now you'll be able to go to whichever apps you have open. And now you'll be able to go to another app, so settings. Now you're on YouTube and the settings at the same time. I just don't like this feature, it bothers me. But if you do find it useful, maybe you have to do a quick Google search or something like that, then I could see how some people might actually find it useful. When you're finished with split screen, all you gotta do is grab this little bar and drag it down to the bottom. I don't know if it's just me, but I just think that feature is so weird. So one more time, just in case you didn't get it, we're gonna go to our recent apps, hit the icon right here, split screen, and now you can add whichever other app you want. Now keep in mind that not every app is compatible with this. In fact, in my experience, I feel like most of the apps I use aren't, but maybe you're on YouTube or something and just want to do a quick Google search, or maybe you're trying to answer a text real quick. Maybe then this feature would be useful. And once again, to get out of it, grab this little bar and drag it all the way to the bottom, and then it's gonna be back to normal. But those were my tips, tricks, and cool features for the T-Mobile Revvl V Plus 5G. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you found this information useful as well. If you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video.